Hi guys, exeter-rider here. Thanks for joining me once again on this scenic, lovely place down here. Now this week it's my first ride impressions of the Hyosung Aquilla GV125. Right then guys, first impressions. I think you've got to say that for 125 that looks pretty good. We got the 60-degree V-twin in there, which just gives it lots and lots of torque. I've only had the bike, been on the bike for about 10 minutes now. I literally just come across town, and overall impression so far is the torque on that V-twin is exceptional for a 125. It just never complains, you know, whereas most 125 single pots, you have to really give them some beans to get the revs up. With this one, it just doesn't need, you don't need to do that. It's you can sort of put it in 4th or 5th gear when I was going up a really steep hill just now, and there's no juddering, no nothing, no sign of it struggling or trying to stall. When you need to change down, it will just run out of power. Simple as that. There's no jacking around. So yeah, it's so far pretty good, and also a decent seat, which is a nice change. It's very low to the ground. The seat height is only 710 millimeters. So if you're quite a short person, then this would be a viable option for you. And the actual build quality as well. Not so much the finish. The finish is still pretty good, but it's not exceptional. It is a bike that if you were going to leave it outside, you know, you'd want to put a cover on it, and just like any other bike, you know, really. The amount of Hondas and other brands I see with no cover on and them just rusting away outside, and this is the same. If you want it to stay looking like this, and it will do, but you do need to put a cover on it if you're going to keep it outside. That's just my opinion. It just winds me up when I see when I see 125s rusting away outside. So we got a big exhaust down there. Again, I quite like that because I much prefer that than those little exhausts that they have these days. It's a nice size which suits the bike. It's very Harley-esque. You know, you got the V-twin there, you got the airbox on the side. As I say, the seat is very comfortable. My legs on the seat position are very high up, which I'm not overly fond of, but that's just a personal opinion. It just feels like that you're kind of squishing your legs right up on there. So, but that's okay. You know, this bike, you know, that's going to suit some people and not others. So, forks there, they're the right way up forks. For a change. It is liquid cooled, and you do get that smoothness of a liquid cooled engine, and you've got the radiator tucked in behind there. And there's a nice change. We've even got a decent grille here, a plastic grille to catch all your flies and all those things that tend to get trapped in these bikes. Now this is just a first ride impressions review. I must be careful not to go into a full review because I want to do that down the line. I've got this bike for 2 weeks, so I should be able to get to know the bike quite well, and so far, as I say, I'm really I'm quite impressed with it. Hyosung in the past have had their issues, and mainly with parts. But I'm pleased to say that Sinus UK will be stocking all the parts for it, so we can kind of put that to bed. And that's why they've taken this bike on. I think they've done the right thing. They're going to stock all the parts on it, and that's good peace of mind for the future, isn't it? Right. So, have I got everything? Yes. Let's start her up. Yeah, so it sounds alright. Certainly sounds like a V-twin. I'm not sure how well you can hear that, but it's probably muffled out a bit in my helmet. But yeah, it sounds pretty good. Right. So to get on it, it's so easy. I'm 5'8" with a 32-inch inside leg, and my legs are bent when I'm actually on it there. So, and as I say, the position of my legs is quite high up here, which seems a bit. Oops, left the stand down. Can't get the staff, can you? Right. First gear, off we go. So what I'm going to just quickly run you through today is just how it feels and what it's like. And nice day for paddling rain on the water. Ever so smooth though, ever so smooth. And it's the type of bike that just wants to be in a high gear all the time. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get through this bit here, and then I'll join you in the town in a second. Well then guys, so I'm just coming into town now. See if I can filter down through this slot. It's relatively narrow bike anyway, so should be able to get through this slot, not too without too many issues. Although there's normally a BMW driver somewhere. Puts an end to that. I still get a big buzz from filtering through the traffic. Oh look, there's a BMW there, look. Just make myself known. So obviously it's a 125, you ain't got a huge amount of power to get you out of any trouble, so you have to plan a bit better. Nice NC. Tyres are made by Timson, and I don't have a lot of experience with them, or any experience I don't think, from top of my head. I don't think I've ever ridden the bike with Timson tyres on. Having said that, they are very popular in Asia, Australia and places like that as well. They're a bit like our Pirellis over here in many respects. Very popular indeed. And I've given them a quick test, and I'm surprised how good they are actually. Whether that's because they're so wide and got a good point of contact to the road, I don't know, but they seem to be very grippy. I haven't tried them in the wet yet, that might all change, but they do seem to hold the road very well. What we'll do in a minute, I'll show you the power of that V-twin in a second. This bike is 14 horsepower, which is just below, I believe, the UK regulations, or the European regulations, on the max power of a 125 is 14.7, I believe, 14.75, somewhere around there. So it pretty much maxes out the power you can get on a 125, and off the top of my head, I would say that it's probably the most powerful 125 out there, torque-wise. And what we'll do in a minute, like I say, we'll try that up a steep hill in a minute and see what it's like. The rider position and awareness isn't what you get from some bikes, because you are low to the ground. Of course, you've got the headlight, which is always on. So that's always looking after you. On the speedo, I've got miles per hour, analog rev counter, miles, temperature, and a fuel gauge. So that's pretty much all you need, really, isn't it? It's a 5-speed box, so I don't really need a gear indicator. I think that's important when you have 6-speed box, but for a 5-speed, I'm okay with that. Also, this is hasn't got ABS, so we've got the link brakes, which I'm not a fan of. They do work very well. There's no doubt about that. I can't take that away from it. They are very, very sharp indeed. But I personally, as most people I'm sure, prefer to be in full control of the braking, whether it's the front or the back, certainly on wet days. But having said that, this bike, I have tried it in emergency stop just out of interest, which I will show you on the full review if I remember. It stops so quickly because it is, again, the tyres are so wide that it just stops on a dime. What's that all about? Nothing to do with me, by the way, folks. I think it's that blue car back there. Yeah, it stops on a dime, this bike. It really does. Right, so here we are, second gear. Now this is a very steep hill here, so you might lose the how steep it is with the way that. Now I'm in third gear now. Look, there's no juddering. I am flat out. It's giving it all it's got. Now if I wanted to go, I'm in third gear. It should be in second now, but I'm just proving a point here. No juddering, and it's still accelerating. If I go into fourth, it's still pulling. This engine is a powerful little workhorse. Now that's a steep hill there in fourth gear. I probably could have gone into fifth and it still wouldn't have complained. So you can see what this V-twin does, and that's what really appeals to me. This bike is the way that the power is delivered. You know, through that V-twin. It's not just a gimmick having a V-twin. They've done it for a reason, to give it that extra power. And it's very, very impressive. And I have to say, actually, that if I was to own a 125, I think this could be probably near the top of the list, pending on a few things. Purely because of that power, and that's what sets this bike apart. Is not only the looks and the way that everything is in proportion, but just the V-twin and the way it behaves, it punches above its weight. And I'd even say actually that I've ridden abroad. I've ridden 150s and 200cc's, and I would say that actually it feels like a 150 or a 200. Not for top speed, but just for the way it behaves and the power that it delivers. It's very much the same. Now, going around corners, I'm normally a bit of a wuss. I don't really like to lean too much, and certainly in wetter weathers. But with this one, because it is so low to the ground and the tyres are so wide, I feel very confident because I'm already close to the floor anyway. A bit like going from a car to a go-kart. You just feel that you can lean it right over and it just stands you back up again. Chassis is incredibly stable. Nothing moves around, you know exactly where you are with it and what the tyres are doing. I got this bike for a couple of weeks, so I'll be doing a few videos on it for its time. I don't want to switch people off, but I have got some 125 stuff coming up, I'm hoping, on this bike. That's one observation actually is that I have made on the negative, is that when you cancel the indicators, it doesn't always cancel. You have to keep on pushing it and it doesn't seem to just turn off. Oh, I haven't mentioned the mirrors. The mirrors are very good as well. They don't shake at all. No vibration, and that's quite a nice change for me because my ones on the NC shake all over the place all the time and it's really annoying. Yeah, but these are very good, and they do give me a view over the top of my shoulder, So that's good. But yeah, so I'll bring you a bit more on this bike, and I will be doing a full review at some point. Get past this bus in a minute. No, I won't. I'll be doing a full review, so I don't want to say too much on this video, but got this for a couple of weeks and I'm really excited about it. So it's really quite an adventure. And 125 or not, I love 125s, always have. And this is going to be a good cheap commuter. So, God, that smells nice. Somebody's cooking bacon. So thanks for this, guys, and you'll be seeing me again soon. Well, next week, Friday at 1 o'clock. A bit more on this bike or maybe something else. I haven't decided yet. I'll see what's worth putting up. Alright, so get out of the way, bus, and see you next week, guys. Thank you very much. Cheerio!